Over to you, Leigh.
Thank you very much. Good Shabbos, everybody. Good evening. Hope you're all well. Over the last few weeks, we've been reading in the weekly Sidra about a load of good things. We've had the building of the tabernacle and its completion. The donations to do that have flown in and have been absolutely amazing. And then the dedication of the tabernacle and the princes all bringing their gifts, all the same, but have been giving their gifts. But from last week's Sedra, Shalach Lecha, everything changes. The whole mood changes from one of optimism and good things to one of doom and gloom. Last week's Sedra, we had Shalach Lecha, where we know that we had the episode of the 12 spies. This week we have that nasty piece of work, Korach, who tries to usurp and humiliate Moshe Rabbeinu to take leadership of the children of Israel. Next week is a double Sedra, which is Chukas Balak. In the Sedra of Chukas, Miriam dies. The well of Miriam dries up, so the people run out of water. God tells Moses to talk to the rock, and he hits the rock. And his punishment for that is that he is told he will never enter the land of Israel. And then Aaron dies. That's all that happens in the Sedra of Chukas next week. And then there's the Sedra Balak, where all that Balak wants to do is have the children of Israel cursed. And though the curses come out as in disguise as blessings, the Sedra ends with Pinchas actually committing murder. These are all terrible things. The whole mood changes from one of joy into one of despair, doom, and gloom. But what is fascinating about this, it's not just the Sidra readings in that sequence, because this happens every year. But it always happens starting from Shalach Lecha, which, because of the 19-year cycle of the calendar, majority of time, Shalach Lecha is the Shabbos Mevorachim, the Shabbos before Rosh Chodesh Tammuz. And the atmosphere between celebration in Sivan, receiving the Torah, and Tammuz and onwards changes from one of happiness to one of doom and gloom. Because in Tammuz, the most noticeable date is the 17th of Tammuz, which is when the Babylonians, having fought a war with the children of Israel, have surrounded Jerusalem, and on the 17th, they actually break through the walls of Jerusalem. And it carries on into the month of Av, where ultimately, 9th of Av, the temple is destroyed. Both temples are destroyed. So while we're reading terrible things in the weekly Sidrot, the calendar is doing the same to us. It's giving us doom and gloom from real things in history. The Sidrot are always, all the things that are bad in those weekly readings, are because Bnei Yisrael, the children of Israel, do not behave properly. And when we look at the destruction of the temple in more recent times, what has happened is that when we read the Kinot on Tisha B'Av, we find that a lot of the aggravation against Jews, all the attacks against them, were all instituted because of Jewish bad behavior. Some of the things that happened in France was because some Jewish guy got insulted because he wasn't senior enough in his community, so he reports to the authorities. So the lesson that we should be learning at this time of year is that history tells us that bad things happen, and they keep happening because we behave badly. Not necessarily us as individuals, but maybe us as a community. And I don't want to get into politics, but maybe us as a community, maybe us as a people. We should be more enlightened, be more friendly to other people, show more support, and not deride other religions, other ethnic groups. We are part of a larger community called humanity. And it's because we don't always accept those things that bad things will keep happening, and we will keep getting the blame for these bad things happening. So the lesson to learn is be nice, do the right thing, whether it's to your next door neighbor, the people over the road, whoever it may be helpful, and please God, we shall get out of the mess that we're currently in, and look to a future which is much brighter, much happier for us and for everybody. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.